Imagine a car parked in front of a multi-million-dollar mansion valued at approximately $250,000 whose owner is, in all likelihood, a millionaire or a billionaire. It is the quintessential vehicle for the most coveted, expensive, and luxurious content shared online. Yet, this very same vehicle featuring the exact same bodywork and technical specifications is utilized by both the Australian Army and German Special Forces. It climbs mountains deemed impossible to scale, traverses deserts that destroy other vehicles, and keeps going even while under fire. The Mercedes G-Wagon is the only vehicle on Earth that serves simultaneously as a weapon of war, a survival vehicle, and a status symbol for billionaires. So how is it that the same vehicle manages to appeal equally to both the military sector and the wealthy? How did a military pickup truck, originally designed for the Shah of Iran, transform into the ultimate status symbol for social media influencers? How is it that a 45-year-old design, featuring 1970s technology, can still command prices exceeding $200,000 in 2026? Welcome to our new Mercedes G-Wagon video, where you will find the answers to all these questions. To help our channel grow, please don't forget to like and share the video and be sure to subscribe. Thank you very much in advance. This is not a story about a car, it is a story about a vehicle that refused to change while everything else around it was changing. It all begins in 1972, when the Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, seeking neither a Land Rover nor a Jeep, specifically requested a Mercedes-Benz. For the Shah sought not merely the good, but the perfect. Mercedes executives were taken aback. "We manufacture luxury sedans," they replied, "yet you are asking us to build a military truck." However, they could not say no, for the Shah of Iran possessed vast wealth. Mercedes accepted the request, and the G-Wagon project was set in motion. G stands for Geldwagen, a German term meaning off-road vehicle. Mercedes knows just how competent it is in automotive engineering. However, military off-road vehicles are not their area of expertise. For this reason, Mercedes reached out to the Austrian firm Puch. It was a company that had spent decades manufacturing military vehicles, such as the Haflinger and Pinzgauer, specializing in vehicles designed for the most extreme conditions, capable of scaling mountains. In this collaboration, the firm took charge of production and off-road expertise, while Mercedes provided the engineering standards and its characteristic, obsessive meticulousness regarding testing. Then Mercedes does what it always does. They test prototype vehicles in the Sahara Desert at temperatures of 55 degrees Celsius, the Arctic Circle at -40 degrees Celsius, the Austrian Alps, impossible gradients, mud pits that swallow trucks whole, terrain strewn with rocks that shatter suspension systems. The engineers are creating something mind-boggling, a ladder frame chassis, a massive structure forged from military-grade steel. A 7-year development process designed to ensure every single part is unbreakable. Finally, the G-Wagon is ready. It looks like a box. No curves, no styling, just form and functionality, square headlights, flat panels, stance. However, a small problem arises. In January 1979, the Iranian Revolution takes place, and the Shah is forced to flee the country. Ayatollah Khomeini seizes power. The sole reason for the production of the G-Wagon suddenly vanishes. Mercedes spent a full 7 years and millions developing a military vehicle, unfortunately, for the order of a leader who was forced to flee his country in a completely unexpected manner. In their hands lay an incredibly capable and extremely expensive vehicle. Yet there was no one to sell it to, or so they thought. Mercedes was desperate, but they made a decision. We build this vehicle. Therefore, we will sell it, and at the Geneva Motor Show, no less. They are showcasing the G-Wagon. The automotive world is astonished. A Mercedes off-road vehicle. It looks so functional. Who is this for? And then an unexpected surprise occurs. People start buying the vehicle. Not armies, not the Shah civilians. German farmers in need of a vehicle that won't break down. Hunters who must reach the remote corners of the Alps, for wealthy Europeans seeking something different from the S-Class. Because this is precisely what Mercedes created, albeit accidentally. It is a vehicle possessing military capabilities, yet built to Mercedes standards of quality. The interior has not been stripped down to meet military specifications. Instead, it exudes a quintessential Mercedes ambience. It features genuine wood trim, high-quality switchgear, and that signature Mercedes solidity. Yet it can ford through 60 centimeters of water, climb 45-degree inclines, lock all 3 differentials, and go absolutely anywhere. Sales were on the rise. However, the military market was surging at the same pace the German Bundeswehr, the Swiss Army, the Austrian Armed Forces, and Special Forces worldwide. This was because the G-Wagon did something no other vehicle could. It offered reliability. Spare parts were readily available. Repairs were simple, and it simply never gave up. In 1989, Mercedes made another critical decision. They introduced a more luxurious version, featuring a superior interior, a wider range of equipment options, and a V8 engine option. Still rugged, still capable, but now premium, and a new market is discovering it. Not farmers or military personnel, but the wealthy class-rich individuals looking to demonstrate their distinctiveness. In the 1990s, celebrities, too, began to take notice. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, European royalty. Because the G-Wagon sends a message: I am wealthy enough to buy a Mercedes, but I'm also tough. I am an adventurer. I am not like those other rich people who drive S-Class vehicles. In 2001, Mercedes introduced the G55 AMG, a model possessing virtually nuclear power, featuring a supercharged 5.4-liter V8 engine. This variant, housed within an off-road vehicle originally designed for military use, boasts a full 469 horsepower. It accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 5.5 seconds. And it is blowing the minds of the wealthy. Waiting lists, 6-figure price tags, demand is practically exploding. For the G-Wagon is now a luxury, sophisticated supercar, fast, and possessing military-grade capabilities. It is the ultimate contradiction. In the early 2000s, something shifts. The G-Wagon ceases to be merely a vehicle and transforms into a symbol. The world of hip-hop discovers it. 50 Cent, Jay-Z, Kanye West, every major rapper you can think of. Why? Because the G-Wagon represents power. It is aggressive, it is expensive, it is untouchable. The G-Wagon is now 39 years old. It has retained the same basic design since 1979. It features outdated technology and poor fuel economy, and it fails to meet modern safety standards. Logic dictates, redesign it from the ground up, modernize it. Naked efficient. However, Mercedes is aware of a critical truth. People buy the G-Wagon not despite its old-fashioned nature, but precisely because of it. If it were merely luxurious, it would be an overly soft vehicle, nothing more than pure ostentation. If it were merely capable, it would possess neither allure nor status. But when these three come together, perfection. Mercedes produces approximately 35,000 G-Wagons per year. They could produce 100,000 units and sell every single one. However, they choose not to. Scarcity is part of the strategy. You cannot simply walk in and acquire one just like that. You have to wait. You have to prove yourself worthy. Then there are the personalization options, the senior packages, matte paint finishes, bespoke interior designs, carbon fiber accents. People spend upwards of $300,000 on personalized G-Wagons. Aftermarket tuning firms are making a fortune. Brabus's 900 horsepower G-Wagons, Mansory's carbon-bodied G-Wagons, and, we hope, ultra-luxury G-Wagons. There are G-Wagons costing $500,000 for an off-road vehicle designed in the 1970s. It is sheer madness. It is truly hard to believe. So, here is the real question. will the G-Wagon be able to weather the coming transition as the automotive world evolves toward electric motors? Emission regulations are tightening. The engines, which guzzle fuel like water, are becoming illegal in some regions. The G-Wagon weighs approximately 3 tons. It represents the exact opposite of the requirements of the future. In 2024, Mercedes announces the EQG, the electric G-Wagon, for electric motors, one for each wheel. Mind-boggling torque, the ability to perform a tank turn. Silent power, electric. This isn't a real G-Wagon. A G-Wagon means the sound of a V8. It's sacrilege. Sound familiar? They said the very same things when the AMG versions first came out. Too fast, then the luxury versions appeared. Too soft, independent suspension. It felt as though the sensation of a true military vehicle had been lost. And do you know what happened? The G-Wagon weathered every change, rising to the pinnacle through every stage of its evolution. For 45 years have taught us this. The G-Wagon isn't about the engine, nor is it about the fuel. It isn't even about its capabilities. It is about that form, that stance, that very contrast between luxury and ruggedness. The 1979 model looks just like a box. The G-Wagon is unreasonably expensive, illogically inefficient, and too old-fashioned to remain relevant. A vehicle that is, in every respect, far too extreme to make any practical sense. Yet it remains the most coveted automobile on Earth, for the G-Wagon has proven something that, in reality, shouldn't be possible. If you refuse to change for anyone, you can become everything to everyone. Introducing the G-Wagon, it began as a favor to a king, evolved into a war machine, and became a symbol of wealth. It never changed its shape, never apologized for being exactly what it is, and never died. A walking contradiction, the box that conquered the world. The immortal war machine. If the story of this ultimate paradox has blown your mind, smash that like button and subscribe.